Hey, this is Scott from Southview Farm. Just got off work today and thought I'd make a quick video. And I was thinking might do a review on our side-by-side that we use around here. This is a 2016 Yamaha Viking. We bought this in November of 2015, and I just wanted to kind of talk about some of the things I like about it and things I don't like about it. And would I buy it again? So we'll kind of go through the machine. This is a utility side by side. It replaced the Yamaha Rhino, and I'm not sure what the first year of this machine was, but I think it might have been 2015. I know that they made some changes in it. Its second year, I think they put some more sound deadening material in it. I think they turned down the exhaust pipe to where it aimed more at the ground, trying to make it quieter. But we'll go around the machine and I'll show you some of the things I've done to it. So when I went looking for a side by side, I was going to buy a Polaris, and Yamaha just came out with this, and I guess what was attractive to me was it was had a sporty look, an aggressive look, and it had 3 full seats. I think the Polaris is a 3-seater also, but it's more or less, I think, like a bench seat. This one has 3 individual seats in it. I didn't really want like a 6-seater. I thought that was a little too large. But I guess what attracted to me the most to this was the looks and the size of it. It's got a real large bed. But I did not clean this up. I guess I just want to show you how it is after 6 years of ownership. So there was a few things that I had purchased when we bought the machine, and that was the windshield, and it has a canvas, kind of like a soft top Jeep, back glass in it, and side doors that roll back. I purchased those when we bought the machine. Now the machine came from the factory. I like that it came from the factory with a roof. That was nice, and it came with a bed liner. You can't hardly see it because it's dirty, but I like that it came with a bed liner. It came with a roof. We added, when we bought the machine, we added the from Yamaha, we added the front windshield, the side curtains, and the rear glass. After we got the side-by-side, I added the chainsaw holder, which is nice. It just, this rubber piece here is glued on and it comes off. Another thing that I liked about this machine was the Polarises and stuff that I was looking at the time had like net doors, and I like that this machine had these plastic doors, and they're spring loaded and shut. Bad thing about the plastic doors is when somebody gets out, they always push down on these doors, and then it wears the hinges and the doors don't shut right. I think I would rather almost just have the netting and just take the netting off, because you're always getting in and out. But coming to the front, you know, I like the front end of it. I think one of the biggest sellers was that it has 3 full seats. And it doesn't have, you know, the console and stuff in the middle. It's got a nice grab bar for the passengers. It has the 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and differential lock. Now here comes another negative that I'm not crazy about. I think it's the thing I hate the most about it. Is that it doesn't have a slip rear axle on it. The Polaris, I know the Honda, they have what they call a turf mode where the rear axle slips. This one stays locked in like a 4-wheeler. I guess that came from the engine came out of, they used their engine from the Yamaha Grizzly 700 4-wheeler ATV. But they did not put a what you call I guess a turf mode or a slip axle in the back. So every time you turn this machine, it's tearing up the yard. It'll tear up the yard. It'll tear up the gravel. If you're on blacktop, it scoots, and you can see that the rear tires, these are the original rear tires. They are worn down. The front tires are still decent. But I think that's the biggest drawback for me on this machine. I hate it. I hate when I turn in the grass. It tears up the grass. You turn in the gravel, you've got a big line in the gravel where you've turned. That's I don't like that. We'll go back to the inside. Like I said, it's got 3 full seats, got 3 seat belts. I guarantee you those seat belts have probably never been used. I'm a Gen Xer. When I was a kid, I stood up in the front seat of the car, and when Mom would slam on the brakes, you know, she'd throw that hand up in front of me to keep me from hitting the dash. So I guess if it had a bell that rang all the time telling me to put my seatbelt on, I guess I probably would. But it's got plenty of cup holders. I do like that it's got, for the middle passenger, it's got a full floorboard, and it's kind of got a divider that keeps the middle passenger's feet away from the driver's feet. Let's see. On the inside, I did add a Bluetooth stereo system in it. I put the speakers up here. I added that, I think, about 2 years ago. And then I added rifle racks. Another thing I added that I kind of regret, sort of, is a heater. I'm not for sure the brand of heater. I can't remember the brand of heater that I ordered. You can look them up. It's actually, it's not an electric heater. It runs off of the coolant of the motor. It takes forever for it to warm up enough to where you got heat. And it has a front vent there beside the glove box. And it's got vents down here in the floor. But it is located underneath this seat. think there's like a storage compartment or something like that under there, and then you have to pull that storage compartment out, and it mounts to the skid plate underneath the machine. And it does have a nice skid plate. I mean, the bottom of it seems to be fully covered. And you can see here, this is the heater hose for the heater. And I think I would like that heater. I think the heater would be okay if I had put a regular cab on this. The cabs are very expensive. I think a cab, last time I priced a cab for this was like $5,000 to $6,000. And I went with this canvas Jeep top cab, and I guess it keeps the wind off of you a little bit, but where the windshield doesn't seal, and then you've got this above where the roof is, and in the back, the heater's not strong enough to keep up with the air coming in. So if you're out playing in the snow, running around on the roads, when you got a nice snow on, you still freeze to death. Even though you got the heater and there's heat coming out the vents, it just can't keep up with the air coming in. So if I had to do it over again, I wouldn't have put the heater in it, unless I had a full cab on there. The bed is pretty large. It's large enough for me. The bed lifts pretty easy. Got a bunch of stuff in here, but it shouldn't. Sledgehammer. But maintenance on the machine is very easy. Once you raise the bed up, you can get to the oil fill, oil check, the oil filter, all of that very easily. Now I think that all this plastic up here, I think it's got like sound deadening material in it. I believe they added that for the 2016 models to try to quiet this thing down. It is a little loud. That's another negative. It is a little loud when you're traveling down the road. If you're hitting a pretty good lick, you can't hardly talk to your passenger. Another change I think they made on 2016 was they took the exhaust tip out of the muffler and aimed it down at the ground, so I guess that sound would hit the ground. Some people, I've watched in other reviews, don't like the tailgate latches. They want the more modern single, like a truck bed tailgate latch in the middle. I kind of like these. They don't bother me any, and I think they give the bed, they make the bed a lot more rigid. They pull in the sides. It does have all metal bed, but these latches don't bother me any. I think they're heavier duty than a single latch that would run across the tailgate, kind of like a pickup truck. Another thing about this is the speed on this. It's not an issue. You know, it's not a razor or sport side by side. So it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it'll get you down the road, especially if you know some of these side by sides that are diesel, stuff like that. Utility side by sides may have a top speed. I've seen it. Some of them's got a top speed like 15, 20 mile an hour, stuff like that. This one doesn't have a problem. I think it will run about 53 to 55 mile an hour on flat ground. So if you've got pastures that's split up by the road and you're not going to be holding traffic up if you're heading down to a pasture down the road and you're only running 15 mile an hour. I've never, I think I've taken this out on a trail ride maybe twice. We went up to Rush off-road one time, and we've taken on other trail rides, I think just maybe twice. But I'm not hard on them. I don't run them through the mud, and I don't bury them in the mud, I should say, and I don't do hill climbs and flip them over and everything. So it's not been babied, but it hasn't been abused either. So that gets me to things that I really don't like about it, and that's the biggest thing is that turf mode, or that solid rear axle that has in it that tears up the ground when you turn. Other small things are like the doors. The doors, I think the doors look nice. I mean, they work good. It's just if you've got a new passenger that doesn't know about the machine, the first thing they do when they get out of the vehicle is they use the doors to support themselves when they're trying to get out. And then over time, the hinges, the doors don't shut right. Another thing that I wished I had done for it is put a full cab on. That's not Yamaha's fault, but would I buy it again? It's a really good machine. I don't think I would buy it again, and the main reason is because of that rear differential in it that tears up the ground, tears up the gravel, tears up the grass. I probably would go. I know the new Hondas, they have a slip axle or a turf mode in them. I know the Polaris's, they had in there when I bought this. I didn't realize how big a deal that was. I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to buy a new one or anything. But yeah, if I had to do it over again, I probably wouldn't have bought this just because of that. Hey, if you like videos like this, please like and subscribe. We're trying to grow our channel, and we'll see you next time. Please join us again.